going on for a lot of places, like on Church Street, when they put the stadium in. Nobody really said nothing. That was a black community. That was a park before, right there on Church Street, right there by Terry, right around the corner from the Coalition. That whole area is kind of itchy and funny. Like they say they want to help the people around them, but they don't really take the time to help them. You know, and the ones who strive to try to work for themselves, they end up trying to shut down themselves. You know, they don't acknowledge it. They don't acknowledge, you know, a person trying to actually want something for themselves. They look at it more as them getting paid. Because what you don't know, living in a coalition, when you go in there with a family, you have to pay a certain amount of money a week to be there. Everything got bills. So shelters, I can't speak for anywhere else, but I know Orlando, the coalition is shit. It's not the shit, man. That place is shitty as hell. You know, I was in a situation where they were trying to, you know, people wanted to invest in me and my family because we was living in the coalition. And the people that wanted to invest were actually private people who came and wanted to put money up, put me through schooling, give me a crib, rent to own, and then help me with a career in the end, put me through schooling and all that. So we didn't have transportation, that wasn't covered. So the money that I accumulated living in the shelter, I needed to get it for a ride. Because my job was all the way by Gaylord Palms. So if we're gonna live all the way here over here, which the area was Lake Nona, I need transportation because there wasn't no bus routes. It was still being built. This was like back in 2011, 10, 12, I want to say. So trippy thing is when they came at me and they was like, yo, you need to give a certain amount of money. And I said, well, I only missed the payment. It's only have to pay 50. They wanted me to pay 400 and something dollars. And I felt it was kind of weird because I know weekly you're only supposed to pay a certain amount. So when I refused to pay that much, I said, you know, we need to still get our transportation in order. Who's gonna cover that? It's my job. So they're gonna put me in a place I have to pay rent for. I don't have no transportation to get to work, lose my job when we go homeless. That's a no deal. I'd rather keep the money I got. So they ended up evicting us out of the shelter because we didn't want to pay that. And that's why I feel like a lot of these places, they do it. They need strings attached. So we ended up getting kicked out of the shelter anyway, me and my wife at the time, and my daughter. She was pregnant with my second child. And it was just some real grimy shit. I felt like a lot of the people in Orlando, especially like when it comes to those organizations, they say they want to help, and they really don't want to help. It's a catch. So instead of people who want to invest in us, instead of them giving us the contact information, they had to be the ones to communicate, like on some middleman shit. That's why I feel like the coalition, I don't feel like it ain't shit, man. It ain't shit. I wouldn't suggest anybody to go there if you had a family. They're not going to want to look out.
Real.
They're not. And these are some of the things that's happening in Orlando, like the whole situation with Wrigley Field and the whole situation with the soccer stadium. I mean, yeah, they generate a lot of money, but what they're not realizing is that all those black businesses, they buying out and closing down, being gentrified. And a lot of people in the community, this is where it goes back where I say that they don't have any culture because they know what's going on, but they just don't care. What happened is that they got to the younger Orlando. What happened in Orlando? They totally got to a situation where the older folks couldn't communicate with the younger generation. That was one issue. Another came to smoke, and there was a petition to try to keep it as a parking lot. They say they built something there, but I'm not really too sure Have to go check that out. I'm not sure, but it's what it goes back to saying, and that people knew that was a historical place, and nobody stood up to say anything. They wanted to build a parking lot there, tear down that place, and nobody didn't say anything. Nobody didn't really care. They were trying to do a petition, the shit didn't even go through, bro. To be honest with you. So this is what I'm saying. You got to be really, really careful about you got to really be observant of your culture. Like Orlando's a dead zone. Like there's reason why a lot of people don't come out and be successful here, or when they do, they leave, because there's no support here. Not only that, downtown Orlando, majority of those places are lounges, and they free. They free. They fucking free. So who the fuck is gonna come down here? Like, you really think you gonna get somebody to perform at these clubs that's really big? They ain't shit down here. You can, but come on, man. When you got a lot of free places, nobody spending their money, that's a no-brainer. You feel me? Yeah. Oh man, you go right through to Orlando where a lot of those hoods used to be at. Man, you wouldn't even. They're ghost towns. Some of them are closed. Look at Mercy Drive. Look at the project, one of the projects they had over there. That shit is closed down, boarded up. Okay? There's a lot of places like that in Orlando.
Talking about McLaren too. They flushed that out. River flushed it out. They on it anywhere, going on. Definitely gonna try to ride over.
Well, here's the problem. When you got these pawn shops and these liquor stores, see, a lot of people say, oh, well, that's not what was happening. But damn, but why the fuck when you walk through the hood, majority of the motherfuckers want to smoke and drink then? Can't tell me that that's not happening. You cannot tell me they not getting their guns from somewhere. You can't tell me that shit. You can't tell me that. Oh man, right there, you go over there. Like, let's say for example, when you get on Smith Street, instead of making that roundabout where you make that left on Smith Street, you go straight. Right across over there, there's a liquor store right where the city lot. Like I was saying, can't tell me these places are not being gentrified. When you go right down there, across from OBT, and you got all those other places over there by Smith Street, and then you got the right across the main highway. You got a liquor store. And you got two other stores. You got a convenience store where they sell tobacco. And you got a pawn shop where they sell guns. Man, you cannot tell me that's not a form of gentrification. You can't tell me that. That area they've been having problems for years. And they just wanna move everybody out of there. The same story that happened in Chicago, same that happened in Philly, all these other places.